bring this down. Okay. Good evening. I would like to call the REDI Commission, Race, Equity, and Diversity to order. And we would like to have our flag salute by Commissioner Jackie Steed. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Amen. May we have our roll call?
Yes. Commissioner Eventov?
Here.
Commissioner Faulkner?
Here.
Commissioner Lecters?
Here.
Commissioner Pastorian?
Here.
Vice Chair Steed? Here. And Chair Wilson?
Here.
Thank you.
Do we have any public comments?
We do not.
Thank you. Approval of the action minutes. I think that's next on the agenda. Can we have approval? I make a recommendation that the commissioners approve the action minutes of July 14th, 2022.
So moved. Second.
So I have a motion by Commissioner Lecters and a second by Commissioner Faulkner. Okay, I'll go ahead and take call vote. Commissioner Eventov? Commissioner Faulkner?
Aye.
Commissioner Lecters?
Aye.
Commissioner Pastorian?
Aye.
Vice Chair Steed?
Aye.
And Chair Wilson?
Aye.
Thank you, that passes.
Now we have a recommendation and a presentation by the Riverside County Sheriff Department on the Special Needs Program.
Yes, Madam Chair. At the request of a few commissioners who wanted to hear a little bit more about the Special Needs Reunification Program from the Riverside County Sheriff's Office, we have invited Lieutenant Craig Roberts to be here with us, and he's got some good information to share. You'll recall when the Riverside Sheriff's Office came and talked to us initially during their department overview last year. They had just kind of dropped that hint that they were going to be doing this program, but didn't really have a lot of details to share at that time. But now that program has been filtered out a little bit, and Lieutenant Roberts is going to tell us a little bit more.
Great. Thank you for being here.
Oh,
Yep,
okay, so
it's on now.
good evening, Madam Chair. Good evening, Commissioners. Good evening, City Clerks. I'm here to talk about the Special Needs Reunification Program. So basically, it is designed to help law enforcement reunite loved ones who have become displaced from their homes. Individuals with autism, dementia, Alzheimer's disease, or Down syndrome are just a few people who could benefit from this program or this registry. This registry provides law enforcement with critical information like physical descriptions, photographs, and their disability. And with that, this is a brief introduction, but I do have a video that I want to play for you that explains this a little bit further, if you will. If you can cue the video for me, please.
I need this appointment for my son. It's really important. Yes? I know.
Hi.
Yes?
Hi.
Yes, I've been on hold for 45 minutes. Uh-huh. Yes, my son really needs this appointment. Yes? We're taking an appointment. Austin, come help me. Austin? Where is he? Austin! Austin! Where is he? Austin! Austin! Where are you? Oh my gosh.
911, state your emergency.
Yes, my son is missing.
What's your son's name?
Yes, his name is Austin Decker. He's autistic and he's tall. He has blonde hair.
Is he registered in our SNR program?
Yes, he's registered in the program.
What color shirt and pants was he last seen wearing?
He has a gray shirt and black pants.
Do you know where he might have gone?
I don't know. I've looked everywhere.
Okay, we'll have a deputy come out.
Two Temecula 61, standby to copy a missing juvenile, priority 1.
2 Temecula 61, send it.
The juvenile is Austin Decker, white male juvenile, 14 years, 5'7" with blonde hair break. He was last seen wearing a gray shirt with black pants. The juvenile is listed in the database under the Special Needs Reunification Program, and there are details on how to best approach the juvenile.
Copy. Hello, is your name Austin? Hello, I'm Deputy Hawken. I see you have Penny with you. Are you guys okay? Is that Penny with you? Yeah, I spoke with your parents. They're concerned about you. Is it okay if I take a seat?
Yes.
Hi, Austin. I'm going to take you back home. Would you like to ride in the sheriff's car?
Yes.
All right, we'll go ride in the sheriff's car, okay?
Okay. Mom! I'm so glad you're home. Thank you so much, sir.
You're very welcome.
Come here, Penny.
So I found Austin with Penny over at the Leon Park.
Oh my goodness.
Hi, my name is Christian Decker, and I'm a lieutenant with the Riverside County Sheriff's Department. The Special Needs Reunification Program is a partnership between the Riverside County Sheriff's Department and our special needs community. It helps us reunify special needs individuals in our community with their loved ones should they become missing. Our Sheriff Chad Bianco wanted us to create a program that would help our special needs community. And so a committee was formed of multiple disciplinaries within our department and community members. Once the committee was formed, we did a lot of research from other agencies that had similar programs and pulled out the best parts of each of those programs to develop our own that we feel meets our community's needs the best. I heard about this program and I had to be a part of it. My wife and I have 5 children, and our middle child, Austin, who's 14 years old now, is autistic. Being a part of this committee and having a child on the spectrum gives me perspective on what family members are going through. A couple years ago, Austin went missing. It was a very scary time for my family, as Austin had problems with communication, his situational awareness, and his distrust of others. There was a lot of uncertainty, panic-stricken. I mean, my job is to help people, and I couldn't even help my own family at the time, and they found him. However, those moments of time seemed like hours, waiting, not knowing, just feeling helpless. I cannot stress how important it is to have the information about your loved one before we actually need it. It'll help the deputies in the field respond to locations where that individual might be, rather than coming to your house, getting all that information, and then going out and looking for the individual. That time is critical. And so this program is important to the community, especially the special needs community. They have a special vulnerability that the other communities might not have. There might be issues with communicating, listening. They may be at times aggravated. And so this program allows us to know the individual's needs and how to best assist them in their moment of crisis.
To enroll in the Special Needs Reunification Program, you have 2 options. You can contact any Riverside County Sheriff Station to set up an appointment to register in person. A support staff member will help guide you through the process, take a photograph of your loved one, and submit your entry. Though an easier and more convenient option is to visit our website at riversidesheriff.org. Once at the site, hover over the Community tab and you will see the Special Needs Reunification Program. Click on the tab and fill out the form with the information you are comfortable sharing with the department. You will also be asked to upload a recent digital photograph of your loved one. After completing the form, you will be prompted to electronically sign, giving consent and verifying all information is correct. Hit submit and you will receive a confirmation email that your loved one is enrolled. It's that simple. Now, with the click of a button, we can see who we are looking for and the essential information to help us find them before the first deputy even arrives on call.
So as you can see, this is a beneficial tool to all of law enforcement, especially the Riverside County Sheriff's Department. And we will partner with other agencies as well so they can tap into our database and we can tap into theirs in the event that we need additional resources. Now, it's said on the video, but in order to register, you can go to riversidecountysheriffsdepartment.org. It's easy to do. It'll take you through all the steps. And you can upload a picture, and it's important that I say it's not just children, it's anybody with special needs, okay? And we provide extensive training to the deputies to handle persons with special needs as well. So with that, does anybody have any questions?
Go first. I'll go first. Well, no, we'll let Commissioner Faulkner go first. See, his hand is reaching.
Thank you for the brief. I looked it up and looked at some of the videos before getting here. It's a great program. So, a couple questions in regards to do you have an idea of how many calls you're getting for support like this for special needs and going out into the city of Temecula? Are you getting a lot of calls for that, or that you know of?
It's a relatively new program, so we're still educating.
Okay. Awesome. And so a lot of citizens know about it. So it's relatively new. A lot of people signing up for it, or
there are a few. In fact, we've statistically at our station, I know of, we've responded to 3 calls, and their kids were already in the registry, and these were children at this time. I'm not sure countywide what the stats are for that.
Okay. Another thing is, it's not associated with that. So, say for instance, you're responding to a home. It's not someone lost, and there's a special needs kid, maybe, in a traumatic situation or something going on in the house, domestic dispute or something because of the person has special needs or mental health issues or whatever. Is that something separate? So when the officer responds and someone's being a little more belligerent, a little bit more aggressive, and you guys having to deal with that situation, is there a separate situation that lets the officers know that when they arrive to the house that someone in the house has special needs and you may have to deal with that a little differently? I know it's different from this program, but I just want to bring it up because I want to see how that happens versus going out looking for someone. You're called to the home because of a domestic issue involving a special needs kid or something.
So the person with special needs is our first priority. Yeah. However, making that situation safe is what we need to do first. Mm-hmm. So if we're responding to a situation where the call is for a special needs person that's either still in the house or is missing, we're going to still send someone to contact the occupants of the residence. If they're belligerent or a little aggressive, then we're going to handle that situation. But our main priority is going to be finding and locating that special needs person. So we'll send multiple units to that residence.
Okay. Thank you for that. That's all I have.
Great. You have some questions? Go ahead.
How is this being promoted throughout the county?
Yes.
Social media, one-on-one interaction. Basically, if we respond to a house and we see that person may utilize these resources, we'll give them that education through dispatch and through word of mouth.
Can we get our hands on the video so that we could promote it through various organizations?
You have it.
All right.
And it's yours.
Okay. Commissioner Steve?
Thank you for being here.
You're welcome.
It's my second or third time seeing that video, and I literally want to bawl every time I see it, so I'm composing myself. But we really appreciate all the hard work that you guys do for our community. We'd be lost without you. And we love this out-of-the-box thinking where you guys are going above and beyond the call of duty. But I think it's really important, too, that you're seeing needs and doing the research and providing the tools that your community needs, so we're adapting to what our community needs. I did love Commissioner Faulkner's point in regards to if there's a special needs person in a home and there's a dispute or something going on, it might be notable to have that home flagged, so somebody that does have training that from working with special needs also gets to respond there. So I think that is such a good idea and such a really, really good point. You mentioned that you work with other agencies. What kind of agencies do you work with?
Oh, it'll be other local agencies like Marietta PD, Riverside PD. They're all, a lot of agencies are coming on board. Not everybody has this yet, but the anticipation is everybody will and will be able to share information.
Okay. No, that's wonderful. I know in the autism community especially, there's a lot of runners, and so that is a huge, huge, huge concern for the parents. So
it doesn't take long to get out of the city.
Right? And it's very, very scary because you just never know. Let's see if there's anything else. Yeah, I just really like the idea of the program and that we're thinking out of the box. I think it's great. I think it's similar to our homeless outreach program where, again, we're trying what else can we do? How can we educate ourselves, and how can we truly meet the needs of our community? So we applaud you and thank you for your hard work.
So I just had a quick question. Have you done these presentations in the schools yet?
No, we haven't, but this program is relatively new, and school's just about to start up, and I know there's talks about that.
Okay, that's great.
I just don't have deadlines and schedules on when that's going to be, but I know that they plan on presenting to the schools, the administrators first, and teachers as well.
Okay, that's great. And my other question is, I know you mentioned social media, you're getting it out that way, but what about holding meetings and HOAs or something like that? And I know it's fairly new, so these could be all ideas that you can jot down and, and take that back. But that would be something too, because kids are out in the community, schools are starting now, and it would be really helpful just to let the parents know that this is something that's out here for our children and our young adults.
And that's an excellent idea. The HOAs and getting out to parks and other community events would be, and coming to other like city functions, like we just had our National Night Out. We could have presented something like that, and we'll have others, but community events as well as HOAs is in the works.
Okay, great. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
I think, go ahead, Commissioner.
Yeah, I don't have any questions. Just thank you. This is amazing. I'll echo my fellow commissioners' remarks about outreach. I mean, outreach. Everybody needs to know about this. Everybody knows somebody or has a family member that would be eligible for this program, so the more people know about it, and if we can help in any way, please don't hesitate. Thank you.
I appreciate that.
Thank you for being here. This is an amazing, amazing program. I actually have seen all of the videos and been pretty active in following how you're promoting it and how parents and people and families are receiving it, which has been pretty good. I think there's definitely room to grow in terms of the outreach, but like you said, it's new and it's getting started. One of the things that I agree with my colleague Jackie over here in terms of that being just a tearjerker video, because that reality is so is pretty powerful when you see that. But I think that we also realize, working in that field as well, that's an ideal situation, is to find your youth sitting nicely on the bench with their dog. And typically that's probably not what you would be walking into. Right. So I'm actually curious, in terms of your training, what methodology are you using? And does the proper restraints when working, obviously there's different types of restraining that happens when you're dealing with special needs and such, and so are you trained in those methods as well, and what does that look like?
I knew that was going to come up. So we are absolutely trained in dealing with fluid situations. Rendering the situation safe for both the person with special needs and the people near the person with special needs. Because you can know, as you know, if we can go to a situation when law enforcement's showing up and there's a person with special needs, they may have a hearing issue or sensory issues or something like that, and they don't want to be touched or they don't want to be yelled at or anything like that. So we're training that capacity as well as dealing with the aggressor or someone who's aggressive. So I can't give you a what would we do in every situation. I can only tell you that we do yearly training on this at the Ben Clark Training Center, and we train on different types of special needs. If they're acting one way, if they're acting another way, if they're acting aggressively, and our first means of communication is talking. We're never aggressively hands-on first. We want to keep a distance and talk to the person with special needs first.
No, that's great, because I was thinking, obviously, talking is the primary method of communication, but sometimes when there's that communication barrier, how do you work to overcome that? Is there other methods? Are you trained in things like pulling out the pad of paper and writing down what it is that you're saying versus, or even sign language if you needed to? Is there a potential, like a basic ASL that's being used, or do you call in another person who is fluid in that to try to keep the situation at a de-escalated
So
process?
in a situation with sign language, we have a system where we can call, if that deputy doesn't know sign language, and most often than not, they don't. We have a system where they can call on their cell phone, and that person can do the sign language that way. If we knew that if it's just a deaf person or someone who's hard of hearing, we'll pull out a piece of paper and we'll jot it down. Or we can get a member of the family to communicate for us.
That's great, and that was kind of where I was thinking. That's awesome. In the system, and the calls are being made, are you taking in the information in terms of prior to the eloping of the youth or adult or whoever, and before they're taken off? Is there an understanding of what actually transpired that caused that trigger to create that?
Yeah, that's going to come through sheriff's dispatch. They're going to be actually talking to a dispatcher who's going to obtain all that information before it's relayed to the deputy. The deputy is going to be dispatched through the call. The dispatcher is going to be relaying this information via voice and via text to the officer, so we know what happened, why it happened, and what transpired.
Okay. Then the other question I had for you is, how are you working, or are you currently creating that partnership in terms of campus RSOs and making sure that, as there are special needs students, as we're getting back to school, and that's a whole new environment, in terms of their educational setting that we're about to go into, should there be a situation that develops, are you working with those campus officers as well, those deputies on?
Absolutely. The campus officers are actually the first ones that we've been working with, and we're continually working with them, and we'll continue to work with them yearly.
Okay, that's fantastic. I know there's been, lots of situations, just getting off a bus can be a trigger, and I've seen an entire street closed down.
Yeah, and in those situations, and we teach to adapt to those fluid situations that can happen. Getting off a bus, being at a park, being in a doorway, being inside of a classroom, all those things we work with the deputies, and we will continue to work with the deputies. And like I said, we're going to learn by doing as well. So when a situation comes up, we'll know, hey, we never worked with that situation. It's time to educate ourselves on what we can do better.
The two, and I don't want to leave my dialogue with you in terms of just pounding with questions, but I did want to give you two solutions in terms of offices to start working with, not just necessarily the school district. And that would be the CAC, which is the Community Advisory Committee that works over all special needs. And most, Marietta will have one, Temecula will have one, every school district has one, but the CAC is a powerful venue for you to push out that information, as well as our local SELPA offices. And those are also over special education, and they're going to provide those resources to not only educators, but to families as well. And
What was
Riverside
that
County,
office again?
SELPA, S-E-L-P-A. And Riverside County has a SELPA office, as well as Temecula. So that you can reach out to them and start maybe making those presentations and such. And that leads me to my final question is, if we wanted a presentation for a particular organization or a school or anything like what you're doing today, how would we go about getting that?
You can contact the Southwest Station and get a hold of me. I'll leave my card Randy Joel has it, and Eric Faulkner has my number. You can get a hold of me. I can also get a hold of Christian Decker, who's overseeing the program. You saw him on the big screen, and he can facilitate that as well, and even bring maybe other presenters that could give different ideas to some of the things that you guys are interested in.
That would be fantastic. I really appreciate what it is that you're doing. It takes a different kind of officer sometimes to be able to transition so quickly from some other call to something like this.
Yeah.
And I applaud all of you for being able to do that so quickly and to handle it so delicately. So thank you so much.
Yeah, we have a lot of good deputies that are well-equipped to handle situations like this, so we're very proud.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Any more questions? Oh, yes, go ahead.
Do you have to be a family member to sign somebody up? So if you're working at an extended care facility with seniors, can you sign those seniors up if you're not a
So I
family
probably
member?
wouldn't use the website for that. I would probably call in the dispatch the way they were instructing, so that you can, so that they can walk you through how to sign someone that's not in your immediate family.
Okay. Any more questions? Okay. Well, thank you, Lieutenant Roberts, for being here, and you answered every question definitely the way that, you did a fine job.
Yeah.
I told you the ones that were going to have a lot of questions, so you were prepared.
I'm glad I read over it. No, I'm
And
kidding.
you did a great job. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you,
Madam
guys.
Chair, for follow-up purposes, we will make sure that all members of the commission receive a link to the video so that you guys can share it on your social media. And then we'll also provide Lieutenant Roberts, Lieutenant Decker, and the chief with a link to this meeting so that you guys can just hear what all of the suggestions were for outreach and follow-up as you need to, and share with whoever you need to.
Perfect.
Awesome.
Perfect. Thanks again for being here. Well, are we on to our commissioner reports already?
Thank you.
Wow, who wants to go first? Adam? Okay. Commissioner Adam, go ahead.
Commissioner Adam. It's been a couple months since I've been at the last commission. I do apologize for missing the last one. However, been busy from everything from Juneteenth celebrations to celebrating the 32nd anniversary of the Americans with Disability Act,
Oh, wow.
which was a big deal and has been instrumental in providing opportunities for folks that otherwise have challenges in their lives, and have been involved recently in the Indian Chamber of Commerce of California, because they don't believe in short names, the Black Chamber, and also attended the Surplus Land City event, where they had a hearing looking at different surplus lands throughout the city to see what future uses it can be. I invite my fellow commissioners, if you haven't had a chance to take a look at it, it's on the meeting website, on the agenda website, and they do have the presentation to see what they're thinking as far as using land throughout the city for future skate parks or bike parks and things like that. Thank you.
Thank you so much for your report. Who's next? Commissioner Pastorian.
I can go. Mine will be short. Let's see. So recently, it's been interesting just looking at school education. Certainly, as we've been starting to kind of pick that back up again, and a new way of looking at it now through just athletics and the collegiate athletic side of things. And I have to say that our local community has well prepared our young people for the diverse world that they're about to get into. We really, really have, and that is a testament of this city and what they have done. I mean, it's just incredible. It really is. But luckily, I think that, everything around us in terms of education has really picked up, and diversity and inclusion is right on the forefront. And it's been interesting listening to administrators to our local schools here as they're starting to create their goals for what this next 2022-2023 school year is going to look like. And there's going to be some significant changes in terms of accountability for our youth. And that is something that I think is really important. And that's not the hard stop per se, but it's the accountability in terms of how to be kind, how to treat people, how to respect and have that diverse that appreciation for the diverse world that we live in. And that, I think, is something that is going to be rising to the forefront here locally in Temecula as we start schools again. And that's really kind of been refreshing, and I've been listening to a lot of conversations about those goals and how it's not only being applied in terms of equitable grading from teachers, but also being able to look at it for the out front place that inclusion needs to represent inside of our schools. And so I think we're in for a real treat as we start to hit this year off. Every school locally has been putting out that initiative. It's at the tip of what they're doing. So I think it's going to be something that we're really going to see. Another thing I think that is happening in my world is looking at some local possibilities for adaptive camps and what groups that might actually be able to, special needs specifically, and where we can start to help create those adaptive camps and places for our kiddos with special needs, because they can do all of the things and should have all of the opportunities that everyone else does, but sometimes it's too much. And so how can we work to create those environments where they can still experience all those things, but in a very adaptive way? So a lot of, I think, good things in terms of our youth and education world, and especially special needs is coming this year. So I'm excited about it.
Okay, thank you for your report. Commissioner Faulkner.
Oh, thank you. Madam Chair, just want to give a plug out for the National Night Out. I came over to visit and talk to some of the citizens and see what the first responders had out. Great event, talking to a lot of the sheriff department, police officers, and the fire and the citizens that were there as well. So it was a great event. Community service did a great job, and the first responders did an amazing job, and the kids, our citizens, really loved it. So some good conversations out of that. I just want to bring you up to date on the QLMP. So as a member of the REDI Commission representing us on the QLMP, you guys know we've been working on the equity statement in addition to the other six value statements on there as well. As you know, they're healthy and livable city, economic prosperity, a safe and prepared city, a sustainable city, transportation, mobility, and connectivity, accountability and responsible local government, and we will be coming in with the equity statement. This year is a seventh statement, so they're working to finalize that. They'll be making their rounds through all the commissions and finally to the council for approval. So just want to let you know that it's rolling pretty good. Looking forward for them to present here, let you see what it looks like. And it's based on all your feedback that we gave them when they came in. So I think you'll see that it's a really good product that we'll have, and it'll be written in the stone with the other value statements as well, once City Council and leadership gets them. So just want to bring that up. And as a veteran, it was great to hear that the PACT Act was signed for toxic exposures. So if you see veterans, make sure that they're able to engage and sign up for that, and make sure that they for the burn pit registry. So I'll share that with the veterans representative for the city to make sure that that's in there as well. So that's all I had. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. Yes, go ahead, Commissioner.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Not a lot to report this month. I have to confess that I'm at the end of a first month of a 3-month sabbatical, so most of my time has been spent on a golf course and with my grandchildren. However, have been in some local one-on-one conversations with a number of people across racial and political lines, and really trying to engage folks in what I call polarity management. Bringing folks together with different ideas, different opinions to figure out where we can align our thinking and be citizens, community members together. So it's not anything scientific about that. It's really just having some conversations with people who think differently than I do and figuring out where we can align ourselves. Continue to do the national work on racial justice. And I have actually a plan for my second month, because I had an opportunity to meet with our executive director last week or the week before and got some really good ideas from her. I'm going to do a ride along with the Sheriff's Department. I'm going to meet with a couple of our council members, and a couple other things that I had on the list. I wanted to say that in front of our executive director so she knew I followed up. But I'm excited to spend some time over this next month upping my commissioner game so I can be more like Commissioner Faulkner and have a better report every Anyway,
he's setting the bar high.
I know. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Commissioner Pest, we went Commissioner Seat. See, I do
Well,
that
You
too.
have now ruined me. Thank you. Okay, so it's been a couple of months since I've been here too. So I haven't been here since we had our Juneteenth celebration, which was amazing. And I came and I listened to Commissioner Faulkner sing. It was so good. But it was a really fun day, and it was great seeing people out and about and celebrating. And I heard over and over again that we were way past due of having this celebration. So I'm really happy that the city has started it. Like Commissioner Lyman, I've had a lot of respectful conversations with a lot of business leaders in regards to the REDI lens, seeing things through the REDI lens, meeting people where they are. When you brought up the special needs camps, I mean, that's really what that means, and people kind of get offended by it, but to have those conversations, I think, is really, really important. I am on the board for Habitat for Humanity, and we just broke ground on some new houses in Lake Elsinore, and hope to be doing so in Temecula soon. So again, you know, we're all doing our best here in the community to help people where they need help, and just meet people where they are. So glad to be here, and glad to be among this amazing group of commissioners, because it's been almost 2 years.
Yeah.
And we've come a long way. We have a long way to go, but I think we have very respectful conversations here, and I'm proud to be part of this group.
We didn't get a hoorah. I think I'm the last person. So I just want to piggyback on what Pastorian said, Commissioner, because I think we are advancing the DEI in a lot of different areas. I know it's just as far as for the realtors, they're putting so many measures in place for training, for webinars. It's for 2023, the whole platform is going to be totally different. They're educating, they're advancing. They want everyone to be met where they are so that we can all move forward, to be respectful to one another and just caring. So I just love that part of it. I also had the pleasure of going to Rancho Damascetes and the Empowerment Village ribbon cutting, and Allison was here and she did a presentation, and she wanted me to let you guys know she wanted you guys all to come, and she wanted to give you a tour of the 2 beautiful homes that Lennar has just remodeled for moms and children. So she wants to get that on the calendar. She's hoping we can come sometime this month before the new mommies move in. But she was so excited, and she wanted me to invite you guys, so let's get together and see when we can all go at a different time. And then I had the pleasure of being with the Senior Center serving lunch, and I think it's to the underprivileged children, or at the Mike Nagar Sports Park. And so I was out there serving lunch, of course, with Yvette Martinez and her crew, and we had a great time. And that's just something that the city does, and a lot of people didn't even know about it. They were just coming to hang out in the water with their kids because it was so hot, and we're handing out lunches, and they were like, what is this for? And it's just something that the city puts on in the summertime for the kids and for the parents. So that was something I was able to do. And then I had a conversation with the chair of the Black Chamber, and they just wanted to sit down and meet and see how we could work together. And I said, well, we would love to hear a presentation from you on what your purpose is, what you have accomplished, and how the REDI Commission can help you. So she will be reaching out to me and get on our agenda, and we would love to hear what they have going on. And let me make sure that I do everything else. I think that is it, and that completes my report. Yeah. I think now we have a report from our Executive Director, Joel.
Yes, Madam Chair, just a couple of items, and we can definitely follow up with not only the Black Chamber of Commerce, but also all of the diversity chambers of commerce in Riverside County, because I know we have the Hispanic Chamber of Commerce. I think there is a women's business group as well. So API, we can kind of do a little bit of research on our end and see if we can't maybe have one particular meeting dedicated towards DEI and business, and see if we can't just,
I love
hear from all of them.
Great idea.
And in return, how this commission and this city can help foster their success in our city.
Definitely.
So just a couple of things. As Commissioner Lecter started to allude to prior to the start of the meeting, right now we do have open recruitment for our commissions. We have an annual, for the benefit of our new residents, we do have 4 commissions: the Community Services Commission, the Planning Commission, the Public Traffic Safety Commission, and our Race, Equity, Diversity, and Inclusion Commission. And every year we do an annual recruitment for the terms that will be expiring in December, at the end of December. And we invite all segments of our community to apply for those vacancies. Right now, we have 9 vacancies, and we've also invited the incumbents to go ahead and reapply. So we've got 2 upcoming vacancies on Community Services Commission, 2 upcoming vacancies on Planning Commission, 2 upcoming vacancies on Public Traffic Safety Commission, and we have 3 upcoming vacancies on REDI. We actually have 1 vacancy now when Commissioner Harris left that we didn't go ahead and fill given the close proximity to the recruitment period. So that is what is going on there. From the election standpoint, tomorrow is the very last day of the nomination period for Districts 3 and 5. And then Wednesday, the 17th, will be the last day of the nomination period for District 1. And after those nomination periods have closed, we will be publicly updating our website so our community understands who the candidates are for their respective districts, which the only districts that are up for vote are 1, 3, and 5. 2 and 4 will be voted upon in 2024. We put up everybody's candidate statement in the exact same manner to make sure that the community has access to the information in the exact same manner. We also bring in the candidates for a candidate briefing with the city manager and the executive team so that the candidates can meet each other, but also the executive team, and hear a little bit about what each department does. And then that's also their opportunity to receive some information at the same time from us. We give them a copy on a flash drive, a copy of our budget, of our quality of life master plan, of our sheriff and fires contracts, and then we let them know that anything that we give to them, what goes to one candidate goes to all, so that there is no, ability to access additional information just by your know-how. And then everything that is provided to the candidates is also 100% accessible to the public and the press. So we just kind of lay those ground rules. The Chamber of Commerce will be hosting a candidate forum here in this building, in this chamber. As a city, we do not in any way have anything to do with it other than facilitating access to this building. As a government agency, a nonpartisan government agency, we do not endorse candidates, we do not support measures or any of those kinds of things. We do not take positions on those things, but we can facilitate technical assistance and certainly access to this building. So that will be October 3rd at 5 o'clock. And then I did have the opportunity to attend the 2nd annual ICMA Equity Summit, our virtual International City and County Management Association Equity Summit on July 28th and 29th, and had the privilege of leading one of the sessions. And it was so fantastic because the summit is for practitioners all across these United States. So cities and counties that are doing DEI work in their cities and counties and special districts. And we had double the attendance from last year. And this is a virtual summit. So that tells you that more and more local governments are in this space, doing this work. And to some degree, as we've talked about before, a lot of governments like our own was already doing equity work. We've already been doing programs for special needs, specific programs for our senior population, our youth population. We are just becoming a little bit more targeted in perhaps those segments of the community, whether by ethnicity, race, gender, socioeconomics, that we haven't put a focus on. So all of that is continuing. And then the last thing, as you all said, school is starting back up. So we will be reaching out to DEI coordinator at the school district to understand what services, programs, goals they have for the school district in the upcoming year, and where we can help move that work forward, and where they can help us move our work forward as far as the school's DEI and the city's DEI work. And then I do have a video to share from Commissioner Faulkner, which I will send out via email. Commissioner Faulkner, I have not forgotten about that. So that's it. That's all of it.
I have a question, Director Joe.
Yes.
Do you have, because you moderated or you were, is there a video clip of that or something that we could watch?
Yeah. I'll send you guys. I'll send you guys a link to the entire summit. I believe it is actually still available online, and just share that with you all. And then next month, our meeting is on September 8th. I will actually not be here. Our Commission Secretary, Erica Ramirez, will be your acting executive director, and Naomi Frontella from my office, our management assistant for DEI purposes, will be our acting commission secretary. But I will be at the League of California Cities annual conference in Long Beach, and we are doing a whole equity trek at that conference as well. There are a number of elected officials up and down the state that have specifically asked for some of that education. So in addition to other education related to planning, housing, transportation, we also have equity-related classes as well.
Wow, that's great. Yeah. So we're truly on the move. We're doing things. Go ahead.
Just a quick question. Great report. Thank you. The conversation with the schools and the diversity coordinator, is that something that we might be able to participate in or contribute to some kind of way?
Yeah, absolutely. My first question to him is actually going to be, what are you guys planning on doing, and can you come and give a presentation at the REDI Commission meeting? September 8th, you guys will have the QLMP Equity Core Value Final Review. We are, as an executive team, looking at that draft QLMP now. Commissioner Faulkner, I know you had sent me an email on that. So we are kind of, at the city manager's request, doing a final kind of review to see if those indicators are the appropriate measurements for each of our departments across all 7 projected goals. And then it is definitely, so know that even if it comes to you, there's still some behind the scenes tweaking that's going on before it goes to the city council. And then, so September 8th will be that, and then October, to give the school district a minute to get going as well, is when we would try to see, October or November is when we would try to see if they could come by.
That's great. Let me just add, because the reason I ask is because much of the work that my foundation is involved with in the child welfare space applies directly to the school systems and the work we do in racial justice and equity. It would be great if there's space, if there's an opportunity to be involved in the brainstorming, the thinking, informing some of that work with the schools locally and bringing that national perspective into those conversations. Just if there's an opportunity.
Yeah,
Thanks.
absolutely. This is definitely the place where that's why you guys are here, is to hear what's going on in the community and give your feedback from your multiple perspectives. So yeah, we'll see if we can't schedule them sooner than later.
Okay, great. Any more comments? Commissioner Faulkner, you sure? Okay. Thank you so much for that report. Our next regular meeting will be on September the 8th at 6 p.m. right here in the City Council, and everyone is invited to come and attend, and we look forward to having you. and our meeting is officially adjourned.